Hey there YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. On Sunday night I posted a video about finally fixing my number 10 circuit. Unfortunately I made a mistake attempting to oil certain components on the bottom of the number 10 circuit back. Coincidentally, after I did so, the camera started functioning well enough. It reached speeds quickly, operated at all speeds, and pulled the film without issue, without even any hesitation. So I assumed I had fixed it based off of the points that I oiled. At least it appeared so. However, I don't have any real proof yet, as I have not taken the camera out and tested it to see if it functions properly. I don't have any exposures to show that this actually fixed it. All I can say is it seems to function for my from what I've looked at. In the comments of that video, Jamie Young popped in and expressed his concern about oiling points that I chose, which he referenced as donut shape. Those were actually mounting points. I didn't quite understand what he meant, so I searched online for information about disassembling the camera back. I found a forum post on Fotrio from about a decade ago, posted by Frobos, I believe is how you say the name, which details the disassembly of the number 10 circuit back, my specific circuit back, actually. Interestingly enough, in the comments section of that, Jamie Young was also part of the discussion, talking about lubrication types for various cold weather environments. From now on, anytime Jamie Young posts a comment or anything related to circuit cameras, I'm going to take it as gospel. In my last video, I effectively told everybody to oil rivets, and for that I'm sorry. This incident gave me a chance to read more detail about the disassembly, especially in that forum post, which I'll link. I'll post a link to it in the description below. And even give me an opportunity to examine various journal bearings that I hadn't seen before or even noticed. So Jamie Young also talked about there being some hidden behind a sheet metal plate. On my particular back, I didn't see any, so I'm not really sure if I'm getting all of the points. So for this video, it's going to be mostly in reference to what I found and not necessarily 100% of all of the points. To oil all of the points on this back, it looks like I might actually have to disassemble the whole motor and pull the motor assembly out through the bottom in order to properly get to every single journal. So this video is meant to correct my previous mistakes and also show new oil points that I've been able to identify because of Jamie Young's help. So thank you, Jamie, for pointing out my flaws. I will be demonstrating what I did or possibly could have done. Now that I understand the points that I did oil weren't actually 100% oiling points, and some of them, most of them, were rivets, or at least the standoffs for the motor assembly. So without further ado, let's get into some more detailed shots and a list of the things you'll need to do this. So some of the things that you're going to absolutely need for this project is a good set of paper towels for sure. This is going to come in handy, so any excess oil, or if you get any in your hands, you can wipe it away easily. The main component of this is a good oil. I use Triflow. I've used it on multiple cameras, from working on the mechanics of the inside of a shutter, leaf shutter, to even something like a A1 program doing the dreaded squeak repair. You need a syringe. I use a blunt tip syringe. Do not use a medical syringe. Just use one like this, or conveniently these do come with a small tube, though I'm not really a fan of how bulky it is. I do like a blunt tip syringe over that. Finally, you'll need your circuit back to, of course, do all this and perform the maintenance. So we're going to get into some close-ups, and I'll show you what it is that I did and what I found. Starting off here in the top left-hand part of the frame, you see the governor. To the right of that is the top of one of the shafts for it. That's the journal that needs to be oiled. Oiling that, as well as the lower right-hand corner, you see a second one. Those two are the only ones that I could visually see, and those are the only ones that I can see inside. So for the time being, at least, a drop of oil on each of those, and using a paper towel or even a Q-tip to wick up the excess. You only want a little bit. Once it gets down into the journal, you've done your oiling. Clean up, And we'll look at the backside. And now that we move to the bottom of the camera, there's only 5 locations that you need to focus on. Here, 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 and finally here. 1 drop of oil to each. Once you put your single drop of oil on each of these and the 2 inside, run the camera normally on the fastest setting, which in our case is 1/12 of a second. Let the camera run until it exhausts all energy, then wind the motor back up and do it again. Do it at least 2 times. I would suggest 3 or 4, but at least twice before you go to attempt to run film through it. I did something similar with my number 6 outfit, and it seemed to do the trick. For whatever reason, the first time I oiled this camera, though, when I received it, it didn't have the ability to move on its own. After I oiled it once, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. I assumed the motor was worn out at that point, and I let it sit on the shelf for a good portion of time. Fast forward 3 or 4 months now, I decided to start working on it again. And when I did that, I made the mistake of putting oil in places that I thought were oil points, but turned out to be not. From this shot of the bottom of the camera, you can see the donut shapes that Jamie Young pointed out earlier in the video. These are just mounting points for the motor mechanism and can be completely ignored. Only the points that I pointed out in this video should be the ones that you supply oil to. If I make any mistakes in my videos, feel free to leave it in the comment section. That does not bother me. I'm willing to learn, and if there's something I can share and help others with, I'm going to point it out in whichever video I make about the problem or update for it. At least for this video, I'm done. If there's something you want to talk to me about or want to get a hold of me that isn't a brief comment in the comment section, you can message me on both Instagram and Reddit. Thanks for watching.